Hey there, Wastelanders. Just wanted to butt in before the start of the episode and let you know that if you're watching on YouTube, you may see a little bit of a video-audio synchronization inconsistency. We had a issue in the studio when we were recording that kind of led to some audio loss, so we hope that you enjoyed the episode regardless, and we'll be back to full production quality by next week. Have a good one.
Hello, and welcome to Atomic Radio Hour, the show that dives into the wreckage that is post-apocalyptia, the post-nuclear podcast. I am your host, Vince, and I'm also here with...
Your sold separately host, Declan.
Okay. What's up, man? How you been?
I've been good. I had a day at work today. A day.
Yeah, what kind of a day?
Mostly me being very tired and then drinking a lot of energy drinks.
Cool.
I don't condone them because they're bad for you.
Yeah.
But other than that, been kind of a day. I came home and I relaxed a little bit. I definitely needed it.
Cool.
Yeah.
You do anything fun over the weekend?
Actually, yeah, I went to the Renaissance Fair.
Really?
Yeah, it was cool as shit. If anyone's watching, this right here is my wizard staff.
I can't see it. Okay.
Yeah, you'll see it. I'll send you a picture of it.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll send you a picture of it right now.
Oh.
So you'll be able to see it live and uncut.
Let's see. Let's try to talk while we do it so it's not just silence.
Oh, yeah.
So how did you get, who was like, yo, let's go?
A friend from school and her entire apartment. We went as a pirate's crew, but I was a magic user. She
Cool.
went as a monk, and her roommates were, one was the pirate captain, one was the chef, and the other was the navigator.
That's cool. I've
I'll-
never been to a Ren Fair.
I'll pop up a picture and I'll blur out faces, but not mine.
Just put the clown emojis.
Put the clown emojis.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put skulls probably for
Okay. The
because pirates yar.
Yeah. Is there a pirate emoji, like a pirate face emoji?
I don't know.
If there's an eye patch one, you should do it.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, that was a blast. I don't have any money. But, you know, spend money on experiences, not stuff.
Yeah.
How about you?
I saw the new Spider-Man.
I liked it. What'd you think?
I didn't.
You didn't like it?
It's like a 5.5 to a 6.
Really?
Yeah, I saw every plot point coming. I was like, that's happening. And then, they get, that scene in the bar?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? That I don't want to spoil anything. That scene in the bar, I was sitting there going, I called this, I can see right through it. You're an idiot. And then I'm sitting there going, I get that, Peter's a kid, but he's not an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that?
After all, he did help save the world, so.
What do you mean?
Like, he did save the world. He shouldn't be that naive.
Yeah, and then, it was just, it was such a fucking, the Spidey sense thing that they touch upon, once early on,
Mm-hmm.
and then, they don't bring it up until it's convenient again.
I like how they make fun of him for it, though. I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I thought it was funny, but it was just you should talk about that more, make that more apparent. And I don't like the way they play MJ. They make her like a shitty version of Mandy from Billy and Mandy.
I wouldn't characterize her like that, but I can kind of see where you're coming from.
I didn't like it. I didn't like the whole, I don't care about anything. It's just alright,
I thought it was an okay end to Phase 4 or Phase 3, whatever phase we're in.
I think it's the first movie of Phase 4.
It's the last. I know that it's the last in the phase.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the movie, when he's back in Manhattan swinging around,
Yeah.
in the background, if you see, it says 1, 2, 3, and it says, we can't wait to show you what's next. And I was like, that's a nice little Easter egg.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I was like, that's how you do an Easter egg. It's not like a pandering bullshit thing. It was like, hey, that's neat. For the man children who have followed this whole 20-something movies for so long. That's nice. That like
Yeah.
that's in there for you. But
Can I talk about my favorite thing?
yeah, sure.
At the end, Mr.
Oh, don't ruin it.
All right.
I'm editing that out. Don't ruin it.
Edit that out then.
Yeah, because that part, I was totally out of the movie, and I was like, I gotta wait for it, and then that happened, and I was like I couldn't believe they got the guy to show up.
Got that guy, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it, and I was pleasantly surprised, and I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, and I like how they integrated into like the new way things work.
Yeah, like you could bleep this out if you want, but it kind of reminded me of Alex Jones.
Why would I bleep Alex Jones?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was waiting for it to be like, he turned the frogs gay. Yeah, no, that part. I was me and my brother were the last two people in the theater when it happened. I like got out of the chair and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
but it's like stupid obvious where they're gonna take the next movie.
Oh, with the post-credit scene stuff.
Well, not even that. Like, not even that. I'm talking about like it's stupid obvious that Venom is going to be introduced because he's already in the world with the shitty Sony movie that got made.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever hear the Eminem song that he made for the movie? I don't know if he made it for the movie, but it was like...
Actually, yes, and recently, because someone was like, hey, do you remember that Eminem song that they made for Venom? And I was like, what? Venom!
It's so bad. It's so fucking bad.
It's so
I saw a
bad.
tweet recently that was like, if Eminem from back in the day was around now, he'd make fun of current day Eminem.
You're right, though. You're right.
I have a friend who's in the military, and he's the whitest. He's like if sour cream and mayonnaise had a baby, and it was neon. Like that's how white this kid would be. And every time I see him, I go, "Hey, what are you listening to right now?" And it's always shitty country music, and the whitest of white rap music I've ever heard in my life.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
And like. He talks to me about like how he's like, no one's saying anything like this. I'm like, yeah, because it's fucking boring.
Yeah.
But
it's like there's a reason no one's saying anything like this.
Yeah,
it's tired.
It's just... No, I think the next and I like Spider-Man. I was excited to go see it. I really like the way the movie opened, but like, no, it's not a movie I ever really want to watch again.
That's fair.
There's a lot of like things that just seem like. Spider-Man, New York, all these kids go to... And you know what pisses me off about that? They go on a school trip to Europe, right?
Yeah.
There's like 20 or 30-something 16-year-olds not at home, away in Europe.
Yes.
When they're on that bus's floor will be coated in semen. The entire time I'm sitting there going, all these kids are getting handies. Like, all these kids are getting fucking handies. When the fat kid is on the plane, or when they go to the opera, I'm like, all these kids are getting handies at the opera. I'm like, because they're 16-year-olds in high school.
Yeah, it's just kind of yucky to think about, though.
But, like, they never once were like, they never made a joke about, hey, the boys and the girls can't be in the same room. Never. I was like, at least address it.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, come on, man. Like... The B plot or the C plot or something of the fucking movie is about how Peter likes Mary Jane, but we can't talk about how, like, they're 16-year-olds and their hormones are out of whack and they don't know what's going on. I'm the only person who thought of this, apparently. I'm the only person who thought about that they should double-check the strength of the shocks on the bus.
What do you mean double-check the strengths?
There's going to be a lot of quick jerking motion while they are on that bus. Dude, come on. When we were in high school, you remember the band kids?
Yep. Those kids fucked.
Dude, they all looked like each other. It was like the South. Oh, sorry. It was like Alabama. It was like Alabama. They all looked like each other.
Oh, God.
And they all had sex with each other. And it was this weird... like family relationship thing. Anyway, you want to talk about today's lore?
I would love to. I would love to not talk about the band kids and their promiscuity.
Did you ever go to a band party?
No.
Yeah, neither did I. Kind of feel like I missed out on something.
I think you probably missed out for the better.
No.
You might have got something.
Well, I don't care. It's everything's worth the story.
Tell us about the lore.
It would just, I just imagine a band party smelling like hot rubber
Oh.
and like cheap beer
And people.
and just bodies. Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn. All right. So Harold, also known as the Lord, him, the one who grows, gives, and guides, and the talking tree. He is an FEV mutant from Vault 92, originally human, born in 2072, 5 years before the Great War. During an exploration of the Mariposa military base, he was exposed to the FEV and thought to be a ghoul. After this, he started growing a tree out of his head sometime later. Harold left Vault 29 in 2090, lived in the hub around 2096, and he got to Old Town, which is a part of the hub, and is kind of hanging out there around 2161. So, like 100 years almost, this dude's hanging out in the hub. Now, he also spent time in Los, so which is a settlement from it's a settlement from Brotherhood of Steel, which is in Texas, but it's not canon, but it is canon because the timelines. He also is not the founder, but the ruler, the dude who's in charge of the town of Gecko in 2238, and he's I wouldn't say the leader, but kind of like in charge of Oasis.
He's
by 2277.
He's the entire foundation of the Society of Oasis.
Yes. In Fallout 1, when you meet him, he's 89. In Fallout 2, in Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, when you meet him, he's 137. In Fallout 2, he's 169. And in Fallout 3, he is 209 years old. Now, the following is Van Buren lore, so it may be canon, may not be canon.
Grain of salt.
There is also some contingency because there is something that contradicts itself, saying that the lore happened from Vault 29, and some of it says that the lore happened from Vault 27. It's just one of those things that could have just, like, someone could have
just like down got lost in translation.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think?
I'm gonna go with 29 because I think that's what he says in Fallout 1.
Okay, that's a fair way to go about it. I like the number 27 better.
Yeah.
It's just a number that like really like just tickles my fancy.
Sure, I'm trying to think of why 27. Well, all those people died at 27.
What?
Yeah, you never heard about the 27 Club?
No.
Kurt Cobain.
Oh, I thought that was the White Lighter Club.
It's the same shit. They all had white lighters in their pockets.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Vault 29 was initially populated by young children, bought up by Diana, a human brain hooked up to a Zack supercomputer, posed as a goddess to the Vault inhabitants. In case of population unrest, a test subject would be chosen to be released from the Vault early. They would inspect the outside to see if the world above was livable. They would never return. This fact would deter everyone from wanting to leave for a short period of time. Harold agreed to stay with Diana, but escaped. He kept the nursery a secret. He felt that he felt it was his duty to the world to keep this gift intact until the world was ready. Now, the nursery is kind of, I believe, what they refer to as the entire vault, and like the society that was built up around it. Again, all of my lore that I get is off of Fallout.fandom. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. Fallout.fandom.com. That's where I got all of this there. By 2090, after the escape, he becomes a merchant and becomes a major player in the hub. By 2102, he's 30 years old. He and some adventurers, including Richard Gray or Richard Monroe, Richard Moreau, Moreau. Richard Gray, Richard Morrow, the Master, a doctor who lived in the hub and was equally curious about the strange mutants. party tracked down the mutants and the mutant animals to the Mariposa military base. Most of the party died fighting the mutants and the automated defenses that were there. The remaining party got quite deep into the base. They found the vats of thick green goo, the FEV. A large metal arm knocked Richard Grey into the vat and knocked out Harold. He awoke later in the desert, already starting to mutate. A caravan found him and brought him back to the hub. Now, the following is Brotherhood of Steel lore. So I don't know if this is technically canon or not. After the destruction of the Master's army, Harold went to Texas to a settlement called Carbon. He had a sexual encounter with a prostitute, Ruby. That is a direct quote from the wiki. In the Ghoul City of Los. So the Ghoul City of He wanted to have fun in Los, but the arrival of the super mutants hindered that. He lost his hand, his toe, and his eye there. After this, he traveled to Gecko in 2238. In 2241, very old but still a spry-looking ghoul runs Gecko, not far from Vault City. After the destruction of Necropolis, the ghouls migrated to the north to form a settlement around the old pre-war Poseidon oil power plant. This amount of long-term exposure to radiation would kill anyone else, but the ghouls found it to be pleasant. Harold arrived and took over from its dangerously ran conditions. This is a direct quote. The Chosen One still heard mention of Harold from time to time. Apparently, the tree had grown from his head has gotten larger, and if rumors are to be believed, fruit is grown from it. The seeds seem to be remarkably tough and survive, and several of them have taken root even in the most brutal parts of the wasteland. So, for as much shit as people give Fallout 3, they stuck pretty close to that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool when I read that. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, that is pretty neat.
Give that game enough. So here's more Van Buren lore. By 2250, Harold is sick. He has developed an unknown disease in the tree in his head. And he's slowly dying. He set out to find a cure. Not surprisingly, he didn't have an easy time finding help. Apparently, at this point in time, people don't really want mutants around anymore. You would think people would grow like more accustomed to having them around. Turns out people were just kind of like, all right, let's get rid of them. Which I never thought of because of the half-life of something.
Yeah.
Which was something that they kind of played with 76, was like, oh, here's all these new mutated creatures. The reason why we're seeing them now is because by the time the newer games took place, they were already dead because of how irradiated everything was at the beginning. Which I never really thought of like, I forget who says it. There's a ghoul that says that they are the last of the dying breed. There are those ghouls and then no other ghouls, and that is it.
Yeah, and then ghouls will just be a rare phenomenon after that.
Yeah, and then, oh, dude, speaking of which, we got to talk about it later. They ended the Walking Dead comic, and it's phenomenal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I read a synopsis of the last one, and you'd love it. We'll talk about it later.
Before we continue, for anyone that was paying attention to my camera, my chair is broken, so sometimes it just kind of gives out to the side like this. Don't mind that.
Yeah, so I never thought of that. Like, you play New Vegas, there's just Jacobstown for super mutants. There's Utobitha. Like, there's not that much left on the west. The East Coast is kind of dealing with it now, but eventually 87 will run out of FEV.
Yeah.
So maybe by, let's say, like, unless the Institute is continuously making FEV from what they have, let's say by, like, 2030, 50, or 2350, right?
Yeah.
2350, we could be totally out of super mutants.
Man, I mean, how long do super mutants live if they don't kill themselves?
I don't know.
I would reckon to say pretty fucking long.
I would say an average human is 80 years, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 160, because
Double.
by 2281, Marcus is still alive.
Yeah.
So,
And he seems like he's in good shape.
yeah. Um, I don't know. It was just interesting. It was just something to think about. I don't think they're immortal, but I don't think that they'll be around much longer.
Like maybe a couple hundred years.
A couple is.
I mean, as an entire collective of a species.
It depends on how fast they're being made. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like if there's still people that if there's still a factory that's pumping. Let me finish this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, good.
It didn't that didn't really stop him. He came across the Twin Mothers tribe. Now this is Van Buren lore. I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check. This is Van Buren lore, but Ulysses, there's a dialogue option where Ulysses talks about the Twin Mothers tribe. The Twin Mothers tribe is originally from, or they come out of Vault 92.
Okay.
So he's surprised. He's surprised that they took him in. Explained to the tribal leaders of his quest. They consulted their goddess. Days later, offered Harold a concoction of. It was a foul-tasting drink, but it worked. Bob the Tree got better and was happy yet again. Harold wanted to repay the deed or pay for what had happened, denying, saying the people of the Twin Mothers tribe denied that and said the goddess will provide. Harold wanted to pay his respects to the goddess and he was brought to the tribal shrine for a private audience. The projected image of a woman was there. He returned to the nursery. It was a moment of joy for Diana and a new experience to him, as much of his early memories had faded with time. I thought that was really neat.
That is really cool. Kind of like after he finally got better, he went home.
Yeah, and it's like a full circle, but like he didn't realize he was home. Like he knew that he kind of had something to do with it, but like I don't think he was totally aware of what was going on.
Because at this point, he's old as shit.
Yeah. By the 2060s to 2260s to 2277, overwhelmed with Bob's growth, he rooted down north of the Capital Wasteland, discovered by several people, worshipped him as a god, and settled a small cult named the Tree Minders. Bob began to blossom. The area grew with foliage, and Harold developed the ability to see through the trees that came from Bob's seed. He used his new abilities to bring in Wastelanders. The Tree Minders would make them go through a ceremony where they had to drink a sap, leaving them in a worse mental state than when they had got there. He craves death, but the Tree Minders won't give it to him. Now, there's another article on his page that's called The Nature of Harold, and this is an exact quote from Tim Kaine.
Okay.
As far as contact with FEV, any contact at all would infect the subject, but the amount of contact determines the results. For example, I imagine Harold had some contact with the virus, but was not fully immersed in it. So he became a different mutant than the master subjects. Full immersion, of course, is the preferred method of infestation, as it provides the virus a large surface area of infection. He said that Harold is a very special case. Despite his appearance, Harold is a kind-hearted soul with a comical personality. He made many friends throughout his travels, good with kids. He's friends with Sapling U in Oasis, and who he is particularly fond of. He's probably one of the most interesting characters in the entire game.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
And I think it's cool that like at the end of the quest Oasis, actually, hold on. Speaking to that, now that I thought of it, we have to get in contact with White. We should make a mod for Fallout 3 that every time you finish Oasis and Harold screams and like cries out in pain or whatever when you see him die.
Yeah.
If you sit there and you look at him for 10 minutes, it should just go, all right, well, here's Wonderwall, and play it because the band is Oasis.
No.
No, but I like that you kind of... And here's my thing. Do you think that they put that in there for a spiritual thing? Like kind of like not a spiritual thing. Do you think they put that in there as a way to say like,
I feel like that
"Alright,
was
the original games are
probably.
dead"?
I feel like that was a nod. That was a nod to the original creators.
I read something once about GTA 5 when you switch over to Trevor for the first time.
Hmm.
You it shows in a cutscene you beating the shit out of the one biker from the Lost and the Damned, right?
Right, from GTA 4.
Yes. Somebody said that that was like a not it definitely was a reference, but it was saying like GTA 5 stomped GTA 4.
Like it put it out of its misery.
Yeah. Not put it out of its misery, but kind of was like, I'm in charge now. Fuck you.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
it was a more symbolic action.
That's the word I was looking for. Do you think that the killing of Harold is symbolic to say we're in charge now?
I never really thought about it, but now that you mention it, I feel like it very well could be.
I kind of thought of it as I was writing this down. I was like, holy shit, they fucking snuck something in.
They killed the first couple games.
Well, they didn't do that until 2015, but yeah. So that's Harold. Do you have anything you want to say about him?
Easily one of my favorite characters from Fallout 3. I never met Harold in the early games because I never got that far.
Yes, we did.
Oh, did we?
I made a point to do it in the stream. I remember.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah, I remember where he is. He's not. I don't think he's far from Iguana Bob.
Oh.
He might be 2 screens down. Yeah, but I always, whenever I try to go back and play them and finish them, I'm always like, I gotta find Harold. So.
Harold's like. I'm trying to find like a comparison, but like he's that character that you're rooting for no matter what.
I think he could have been a mascot.
Easily, yeah.
I think if the game would have took off back then, I think he could have been the mascot.
Especially if they took the series in a very different direction of like the world regrowing in a different way,
Mhm.
like actually like with
Definitely.
foliage.
Yeah.
I think that could have been really interesting. But other than that, I think Harold's just super fucking cool. And even though he asks to be killed, I still feel bad every time I do it.
Yeah, but you can do it humanely.
Yeah, it still just kind of makes me feel bad.
Oh.
I especially when I played my evil run and I burned him down, that was the fucking worst.
I remember one time I did it, and I had a shish kebab, and I went whap, and he was just like, I'm on fire.
Bro!
And then I think one time I nuked him.
You gave him a good old mini nuke to the face?
Yeah, I just walked in. I didn't even say anything to him. I just pulled out, went, and then walked out.
Ding!
Yeah.
Damn.
I remember I couldn't find Oasis.
I couldn't find Oasis for forever.
Yeah, and I was like, I just want to find it. Why can't I find it? Yeah.
I think they definitely, even though something I really like about what they did with Oasis is they made it difficult to find, but they didn't make it a secret because Three Dog talks about Oasis like all the time.
Kind of. He doesn't say Oasis, but he's like, there's trees.
Have you ever seen a tree? Not those shriveled black things. Yeah.
Well, Three Dogs saw one, and he's not sure if it was real because he was experimenting with Jet at the time.
Yep.
I believe on the wiki, I listened to that, and I was like, oh my god, the amount of times I've heard this.
So many times.
Like, how many times do you think you've heard, "Ba-na-na-na, bit of news"? Like,
Whew. So many times.
isn't that nuts to think of, like, one line is just so engraved into your head?
I just love the way he's like, not those shriveled black things.
Like, yeah, you want to hear something crazy? Like, something
Sure.
crazy? The next segment that we have planned for you, we'll get into in a moment. But when I was writing out my ideas for it, I, like, saw it in-game.
For real?
Yeah, and it was just like, I've either played too much of this, or I'm just that into it. Like, I'm just that into the idea.
Okay. Alright.
Because,
Cool.
like, I saw, like, okay, go here, do that. I can hear this person saying that. I can hear that happening there. So, I don't know. But is there anything else you want to say on Harold?
I am satisfied. I like Harold a lot. One of my favorite characters.
I agree. Real quick,
Go.
just because I brought it up before, they ended Walking Dead, the comic, right?
Okay.
It ends on issue 193. something happens in 192 where everyone was like, "This is it. This is the end. There's no way you can come back from this." And Robert Kirkman, who's the creator and has been writing them since they came out, was like, "No, don't worry. They put out fake cover art of issue 194, 195, 196."
Oh, wow.
And then 193 comes out, and they're like, "Yeah, it's over."
That's freaking clever.
Yeah, and like they don't say, it's not like the cover says like this is the last one,
But it is.
but like you open the page and you read you open the book and you read like the first like 4 or 5 pages, you're like, "Oh, this is it."
This is the end.
As soon as it was here, it's gone.
Now that it's all done, I want to read all of it. I know I read the first 50 of them and I really liked it.
Yeah. Well, you know how I found out? I
No,
have
how?
issue 100. I have all 9 variant covers.
Which cover? What's that volume?
What do you mean? I don't know.
Like, what's
I
the
don't know,
story for volume 100?
For issue 100,
For issue 100, yeah.
A main character dies.
Okay, I know the one.
It just happened. It happened on the show in 2016. I don't want to no one's watching The Walking Dead anymore, but I still don't want to ruin it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to see how much all 9 or 11 or whatever it is variant covers would be worth, and it was like the last issue, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And
Wow.
I looked it up, and it's what my favorite part about it is. It kind of shows where civilization is going.
That's good.
And I was like, I want to see this more than I want to see zombies die. Like, that's the point of the show. That should have been the point of the show, is that it's the human struggle.
Yeah.
But, sorry, I just wanted to get that off my chest before I forgot, so I could tell you.
No, I think it's pretty fucking cool. I will eventually read all of it.
I would like to do the same.
Maybe we'll start a podcast about that.
Now that it's over, we're going to corner the market. No one's going to be making a Walking Dead podcast. So, all right, you want to intro the next part? I don't know how to intro it other than to just say what it is.
So, earlier on, we were talking about ideas for the show. And Vince was like, what do we do? Let's have some kind of thought exercise. So, one of his suggestions was, why don't we just create our own, like, DLCs for Fallout? And I was like, that is a grand idea. So we each kind of took some time to ourselves to kind of get in our brains and create a DLC for a Fallout game. I have 2 concepts. I know that Vince has one that's kind of bigger, but
I just want to point out one thing.
Sure.
We've totally changed as people. Because when I met Declan, he was everything has to be written down, everything has to be in order, everything has to be this way. And I was very much, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it when it gets time. Like, I'll just do it. Like, I'll wing it and say, fuck it. For this next segment, I took pretty much 2, maybe 3 hours and did research and took notes. For those at home, this is my notes. It is 20 note cards.
Gasp.
20 note cards on 6x4 note cards. So the big ones. I took a lot. I did a lot of research. There's doodles and drawings and ideas, and there's a couple things that like I think you're gonna be surprised when you hear what I actually did. There's artwork.
Oh, you did little sketches and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Like, I went all out. I have 20 notes. Like, listen to this.
And
Can you hear that? Hold on. Can you hear that? Hold on. Fuck. Why doesn't it work? God damn it. Shit. You hear that?
Yeah, it's impressive. I can't see that, but I could hear that.
I'll send you a picture of how thick it is.
It better be dummy thick, dude. The clap of that notepad better alert the guards.
You know what they say.
What?
What the fuck? I don't know. I was asking you.
Well, what I say is that I don't have any notes, but I do have 2 concepts that I've kind of just thought through and thought about what I would want to see. And I'm going to approach it from...
Okay, hold on. Before you go on, I don't know what his is, and he doesn't know what mine is.
Yes.
But I know, like, his has to do with, like, one thing, just to make sure we weren't doing the same idea. But I sent him, I was like, yo, you want a clue for what... do you want a clue for what, what my thing's about? And he's like, yeah, sure. So I just sent him a picture of his dad.
Yep.
So he has to figure that one out.
I think I'm going to include that photo in the video.
I was gonna say as a joke. Can we get a picture of your dad on screen?
And I
Can
think
you animate it? Can we get a little animation of your dad?
I can make it spin around.
Yeah. How about you spin around and make it do like a star pattern?
Oh God, why are you gonna make me do this?
What else can he do?
Please don't hurt me.
Can he do the? You're not gonna be able to see him do it, but that look down, look away, and go. Why? You're gonna see it when you watch his back, and you'll be like, "Wow, that was spot on." Yeah.
No, I can't make that happen.
Just have fun with it. So
I'll
go on,
do
what's your
something.
idea?
Oh, I'm starting?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do it this
yeah.
way. I have 2 ideas, you have 1. How about we sandwich your idea between mine?
Sure.
And as we approach this, let's say what game we expect these to be for.
Okay. Okay.
So, my first one is going to be for Fallout 4.
Okay.
And it is a DLC where you get a radio signal from a vault that previously you didn't have, and when you go to explore it and you check the marker, you notice that it's all the way in the water, like in the ocean. So there's at some point you find a way to traverse the ocean. You find someone with a boat, or you make like a dinghy or something, and you travel out to where you hear the radio signal, and you find a like, you know, those like red like buoy things, like the ones with the lights on top and stuff.
Yeah.
So when you get there, you see that there's a symbol on it that is a vault symbol, and it says vault number because I didn't think of the number.
Sure.
Let's call it 96. I don't think that one exists yet.
Okay.
I'm
gonna look that up, but go on.
All right, cool. And when you get to it, you find that there is a terminal that when you activate it, it sends up a pod that brings you down to a subterranean in the ocean vault.
Okay.
And
96 exists.
It does it? Which one is that?
Yeah, it's in 76.
Gross. Let's call 95 exists. 94? Let's give it 94.
Okay, just keep going. I'm just gonna tell you.
Okay. So once you're down in the vault, it's going to be way different from all the other vaults, because instead of it being
94 is also at 76.
76 is canceled. All right, it's Vault 76. No.
All right, Vault 90.
Vault 90. Good.
Cool. It's not known.
Cool.
You're good.
Because instead of it being just like tubes of metal and big like bubbles of metal, all of the tops of the hallways are going to be glass, so you can see in the ocean above you. And the experiment for this vault is going to be splicing sea creatures with people to make like super sea people, basically making Aquaman.
Declan.
Yes.
It sounds like the first BioShock.
I didn't even consider that.
I'm not saying that it's a bad idea. I'm just saying it sounds a lot like BioShock 1.
I didn't think of that. I saw it completely different in my head.
And I thought you were going on a bit. And I was like... And you didn't sound like you were like, bit, haha, in my voice. You just were just like... Yeah, they're gonna splice things together, and it's all underwater. And I'm like, is it the 40s too?
Oh, now I feel like a big dumb idiot.
No, it's cool. It's just it's something that was probably lodged in your subconscious and you didn't think about it.
I completely did not.
Well, tell me the rest of it. Let's see how it differentiates.
So when you go down there, you find that most of the people are dead. Of course, it's a Vault-Tec experiment.
Yes.
But I want you to find, like, at one point, some mutant that actually was able to, like, survive. Like, some kind of, like, half dolphin, half man.
Okay.
And I haven't gotten much farther than that, but I know that I want there to be a geothermal reactor that is melting down and leaking into the ocean. That's killing wildlife. And I want you to have to, like, either fix that or blow it up or something like that.
Idea.
Yes.
there are multiple different test subjects. They found out that splicing human DNA with dolphin DNA was the most successful. There is a race of half human, half dolphin people,
I like it.
and there is also a race of like half, say, like, I don't know, fucking guppy, half human that are also there, and the two of them hate each other.
Ooh, I like a good like East Side West Side kind of drama.
The sharks and the jets, just
Oh, it can be half shark.
yeah.
The other one
Something-
half shark and then half dolphin.
Like say there's like here's even better. Humans that were spliced with mammals versus humans that were spliced. What are non-mammals called?
There's a lot of different subcategories. Like-
Humans that were spliced with non-mammals. So the humaminals and the non-mammals don't like each other.
Okay.
And then from within their ranks, there's also like subsections that have their own type of beef with other sections. So like even their own don't get along.
So it's
like,
you're seeing this like much bigger than me, obviously.
Oh yeah, I mean, I thought that was the point of it, was to flesh out the idea.
I like that. I just figured it would be kind of like a smaller series of quests. Like, this wouldn't be like a $30 DLC.
Oh.
I figured this one was going to be more of like a $15 one.
No, the one I had. Okay, I mean, the way I thought of the idea was it was going to be like a $30. This is like a Shivering Isles.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're not wrong. It's
yeah,
just
I mean, I did.
Different interpretations.
If I bring two $15 ones and you bring one $30 one, I don't see much of a difference.
Yeah. So okay, go on.
From there, I want there to be like cool like vehicles that you can like traverse the seafloor with and find shit. And I think
I mean, this all sounds like the cut content from 4.
and that was the original idea, because I was like, they never did anything with that cool harpoon gun. So
they brought it into the game.
Yeah, but like
But,
yeah,
there's a bunch of shit underwater that you just don't get to see.
and that's why I wanted to actually like kind of realize that.
Yeah. I think that'd be really interesting. I think that'd be really, really interesting.
I think it'd be really cool to like have like a geothermal like vent reactor and have to do something with that. And like one faction wants to like harness it for power and the other one wants to destroy it and put them out of their misery.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I'm sure that like though they're like part sea creature, they're probably still strained for food because they're part people. So they kind of live in like squalor.
Well, if they're mammals, they still need to come up for air. I'm pretty sure, because dolphins technically and whales technically need to come up for air.
So like they would have to just go into the vault.
Who's in charge of what? Like, I kind of take the mammal side was a human who was spliced with a killer whale, and he's kind of the one on top.
All right. Well, he would be on top of the sea creature splice ones.
No, I'm saying of the two factions of the mammals and the non-mammals.
Okay, so yeah, like the killer whale would be the leader of.
Maxon.
He would be the Maxon, and then for the non-mammal ones, like the ones that are like way more like fishy, I would say
stingrays are mammals.
Are stingrays mammals? Yeah.
They're
What about like a crab? Like a crustacean. Meh.
Is Mr. Krabs running around? SpongeBob.
Arr, SpongeBob!
Yeah.
Oi, dweller! Get me the geck!
Definitely like a crusty old...
A crustyman. Ooh, that'd be really funny.
Yeah, because crabs lay eggs. A turtle. No, he'd be a
Turtle.
wild turtle.
Oh, yeah! Yo, that'd be so awesome. Like, you could have, like, a big, long beard.
Yeah, and he'd be down there for such a long time.
And he would talk really slow.
Yeah, but he'd also be, like, stupid wise.
Mm-hmm.
And he would talk
I like that. I like that a lot.
He would talk in riddles, or, like, metaphor.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And could he talk in sea shanty?
Of course.
That'd be so rad.
Of course.
Oh, fucking yes. Other than that, I would like to have it so that you can do like base building, like to like extend the vault if you wanted to, like into the ocean. And I kind of like imagine it to work like Subnautica. Like I feel like that'd be. You never played that before? It's really cool because you have like a creation gun kind of thing, and it takes resources from your inventory and like crafts things. So you can
like a gravity cannon, but just put it here, put it there.
Yeah, kinda. So you get like these like giant like metal rooms that you can just place at the bottom of the ocean and then like connect them with like hamster tubes to other rooms. It's really, really cool. I feel like that'd be really interesting, so that you can like build your own like house at the bottom of the ocean.
What's the other one you have, or is that or you're not done?
That was for the first one. The other one I want to talk about after yours.
Which one does this take place in?
This one was Fallout. This one was Fallout 4. The other one I have is for Fallout 3.
For the sake of time.
For the sake of time, I'll do my second one.
Sorry.
No problem. My other one was going to be a continuation of the railroad quests from, like, the Replicated Man from Fallout 3, where
okay.
where you have an like if you get the DLC, it's kind of like how Broken Steel, how it kind of ties into the end of the game, where this would edit the Replicated Man quest that you can choose to help lead a group of synths back up north to a and the goal of it would be to help them along a route north to Philadelphia, because I would figure that that's where a really big synth railroad population would be, because like the city of Independence, brotherly love and shit.
Yeah, okay.
So I feel like out of like Independence Hall and like the Liberty Bell and all that shit there would be like a huge
to never go to Philadelphia
because of the dirty toasters.
Yeah.
So I figured that would be like a really cool settlement for railroad people. Like they control the city, and like that is the safe haven for synths.
Okay.
I would
like to see Harkness.
Yeah, I would like to see Harkness be a part of it. Like, and I kind of imagined it similar to the way Zion Valley starts, where like you kind of find the like caravan and this like, all right, time to go. So like at the end of the Replicated Man, if you save Harkness, he would end up at a caravan, and you would meet some other characters, and they'd be like, hey, if you bring a couple supplies and help us, we'll give you money and shit. So you would start, and the first part of the DLC would be like the road north, like following along on along like, I don't know what route that is. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, probably 95, I'm thinking.
Yeah, probably.
Or 93.
It's in the 90s or like 80s. Yeah. It's like somewhere above that.
Yeah, it's all good.
So you would have a section where you would basically lead them up the road and go through like smaller towns. And I figured like it would be separated into like 3 small, like main small towns, and they would each kind of pose a different problem. Like one of them is like entirely too irradiated, and it would just like completely destroy you, so you have to find a way around it. Another one, by the time you get there, you're out of food, so you'd have to kind of forage or like talk to the locals about getting food. And the last one, I hadn't really thought about the last one, but I would want it to be a very hostile environment, like raiders just trying to or like slavers completely trying to like take anyone that's going through and bring them somewhere else. And then the last bit would be just before getting to Philadelphia, and it would be a battle between the railroad and people from the Institute trying to undermine their operation.
Huh. I really like that.
Yeah, because
I think that's really neat. It's just a way to kind of make the Institute seem like they're actually important and for, and not just a faction that's there.
Like, it kind of makes them more important to the world at large.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that idea, and I like the idea of kind of like going on a road and it being a little bit more linear. Like, it's linear but with pit stops.
Yeah.
Because Fallout is so open in general that you can kind of just like say, all right, I'm out, and just go do something else. Where this is like, if you start on this road, you gotta finish it out.
Yeah. I like that. I like that idea of like if you go back, it could hurt your progress and you can fuck up.
Yeah. And just like following the highways, like life on the road. I think it'd be so cool. It kind of reminds me of Nuclear Family a little bit. How Rich and the bros go out on their trade missions.
I have some news about that.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Cool.
I like it. I do like that a lot.
Yeah, I really like that one. And that would be for Fallout 3, obviously, because it's continuing the replicated man. But I want to hear about your grand idea that you have like 20,000 pages of notes about.
All right, so I'm not gonna. I titled mine. Mine has a title. I thought.
Oh, cool.
Like I went all out. I sat at my desk for like 2 or 3 hours and did nothing but research and just starts. It's for 3. It's for 3, but like a weird mixture of if they would have remastered 3 with 4.
Okay.
It has themes of exploration and journey. Like that's the big thing of the whole thing.
It's to explore.
It's to explore. Three Dog makes an announcement over GNR. Some reports are saying that someone or something is headed down the river in a large, either white or silver boat-like thing with the letters S, A, and N on them, and are totally. Some people are saying that the letters are in this combination or that combination. But the reports, they differ. Last seen south of the Super Duper Mart. It does not tell you exactly where to go. You have to go find it.
You have to go find it.
Yeah. You find a large part of what seems to be like a large metal piece floating down the river. I'm not going to tell you the big thing about it. I'm going to let you get eased into it.
Okay.
You meet a young kid that's inside of like this weird boat thing. His name is I couldn't pick on Buzz or Edward.
I like Buzz.
He's worried about his home of Kennedy.
Kennedy?
Do you see where your dad came in? He explains to you he's from the old Gulf Commonwealth.
The old Gulf.
Yeah.
Where's that?
There's also, I have a little description. I have a little piece of thing here. Let me see if I can get it properly, if it'll focus. That's the little boat that he's in. I'm just going to tell you because I feel like a lot of this is missed if you don't know it.
Okay.
The DLC is called The Great Space Race.
The Great Space Race?
Yeah. So, the kid's full name is Buzz.
Because Buzz Aldrin.
Is Buzz Jimison. Okay, so hear me out. You find him at Willem's Wharf with Grandma Sparkle, and she's trying to get him to eat, and he keeps saying no. He needs to get to the Museum of Technology to find out the history of his home. His mother's name is Sally Jimison. The first woman in space was Sally Ride. The first black woman in space name was Mae Jemison.
That's a really nice nod.
Thanks. And then I have dialogue trees written.
Really?
Yeah,
Holy
I wrote
shit.
5 pages of notes of dialogue options.
Which hair is dying?
I drew a little picture of him. It's not great. Let me see if I can get it on screen.
I'm excited to
Send
see
you pictures
these.
of all of this.
Ooh, please.
It's supposed to be little nods because obviously, like, they couldn't. Why can't I get this to focus? They obviously couldn't use like Fenway Park and be like, "Oh, this is Fenway." So I try to make everything as like skirt the line as possible.
Right.
I'm gonna send you a picture of his boat.
Cool, I'm excited.
I'm also gonna send you a picture real quick of him. Hold on a second. I'm gonna cut this all out.
Yo, it's so freaking cool.
So I try to design the boat to make it look like Sputnik.
Yeah, I can see that.
And if you look at it, there is kind of like I don't want to say like a steering wheel. I'm trying to fucking not have Parkinson's when I show this.
Teacup ride from Disney.
Yeah, there's a rotor, there's storage and sails. So he put this together himself. Like that's the big thing. And if you look at the picture of him, little doodle I did of him,
Yeah.
he's got a NASA hat.
Oh, it's so cool.
So, and his shirt is the old NASA font, and I can't get it, but he's wearing a bag that covers it up, so you can't see the A in NASA. So for my dialogue options, you can walk up to him, and Declan, we're just gonna play like we're playing a game. You ready?
Okay, cool.
There's 5 options. Who are you? What are you doing here? Where are you from? Are you lost? Or hey, I heard about you on the radio.
Hey, I heard about you on the radio.
He replies with, "Really? Does that mean I'm famous? I can't wait to get home and I can't wait to tell Nancy about that back home." And I named her after Nancy G. Roman, who was the woman who worked on the Hubble telescope, and that's like his like
Cool.
pseudo love interest that could develop a B plot line later on.
Oh, neat.
So then that opens up to another line of dialogue. The only options you have after that are. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm sorry. So after you say, "Hey, you're famous on the radio," you can go back and ask any of the 4 questions from before.
Okay, so can you repeat those, please?
Who are you? What are you doing here? Where are you from? And are you lost? Are you lost, kid?
Who are you?
The name's Buzz. The name's Buzz, the Star Boy.
Buzz the Star Boy. I like that.
And then there are after that it opened. You can go back. I guess you can go back and ask the same questions again, but I kind of wrote it like almost like linear because I don't
Yeah.
really understand how they write dialogue. So yeah, you could ask those same questions again. Yeah, actually, because I have written off because I have it written down as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 dies off and 1 dies off. So you can ask those same questions again, so you can get where you need to be.
Okay, so where are you from?
Where are you from? Far, far south, a place called Kennedy, and that's 3. So that opens up new dialogue options. You can now ask. You can now only ask Kennedy, "What are you doing so far north?"
Kennedy, what are you doing so far north?
So the answer to that is, "I need to get to the Museum of Technology." And the only question you could ask after that is, "The Museum of Technology? Why?"
The Museum of Technology. Why?
Sorry, I didn't mean to make it like... It's my first time trying to write a quest. Give me a break. So he says, "We need to find out more information about Kennedy. We're in danger." Which then opens up to, "Well, why don't you tell me about yourself? What kind of danger, kid?"
Well, why don't you tell me about yourself?
Yeah, hold on. Or what
Sorry.
answers are you looking for in the Museum of Tech? So
Are
why don't
those
you tell me
3
more about
choices?
yourself? Yeah, those are 3 separate choices.
Wait, what was the third one?
The first one was, "What can you tell me about yourself? What kind of danger are you in? And what answers are you looking for at the Museum of Tech?"
What answers are you looking for at the Museum of Technology?
In the before times, the cosmonauts and the American astronauts were in a great race to see who got to the moon first, and the astronauts won, but we don't know how, and we need to find out that information. I'm just going to read them all. The "what kind of danger are you in" is the cosmonauts. They sent a signal saying that they're coming to stop us from discovering the outer realms. And "what can you tell me about yourself" is, "My name is Buzz from Kennedy, and my people are in trouble. The Museum of Tech has the answers we need." So after that, I have... How did I write this out? Hold on a second. I'm sorry. Oh, so then you can ask, "And what are you here for?" And it gives you a previous answer. Because you ever like do that in Fallout, where you ask a different question, but gives you like the same answer,
Yeah.
like in 3 or New Vegas.
They do honestly write it very cleverly.
No, they do, but it always kind of like comes back to the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you plan to stop them? In the Museum of Natural Technology, they have the answers. Use a previous answer that I've already given. Well, you know what, kid? I've got nothing else going on. I might as well help you. Really, Mister and/or Lady? And then, what was that? 5, 6? Oh, I'm sorry. That's 6. And then, so this is question 7, like line 7.
Mm-hmm.
You could either say like, "Are you really gonna help me?" You could say, "Yeah, sure, kid." Actually, no, I'm kind of busy right now. "Sure, for a price." And wait, can you answer some questions first that go back to you asking more questions that you might have missed out on?
Oh, okay.
If you say yes to him helping, like just right away, like, "Sure, kid, I'll help you," he goes, "Oh boy, thanks so much," and then he gives you a tattered NASA hat.
Oh, cool.
And there's no other way to get it. I want to show early on that consequences. Every action has a consequence. If you miss this hat, there's no way to get another one.
Cool.
You can say, actually, no, I'm kind of busy. Okay. Well, let me know if your schedule freezes up. Sure, for a price. Well, I only have about 35 caps on me right now, but I bet Mama can give you some more money when we get back. He's like 10. Forgot to mention. He's like a 10-year-old kid.
Yeah, I figured he was like 10 to 15.
Yeah. And wait, can you answer some questions first? And he goes, sure, what do you want to know? You then take Buzz through the museum as you fight off super mutants and other abominations. He will shoot with you, even though he's a kid. He does have a fighting animation. He has a 32 caliber pistol, and I drew this, but I didn't do a great job, and I'm still going to show you.
Mm-hmm.
He has a 32 caliber pistol that he found an old branded Captain Cosmos blaster.
Wow.
Right?
That's pretty fucking rad.
Captain Cosmos branded Jangles the Moon Monkey official blaster toy that he'd like fit the shell of the toy around his gun.
That's pretty fucking cool.
So on the end, like where you would think like the business end of the gun is, where the toy would kind of like taper off into a ball, it's all fucking like black and there's soot and everything on the end of it, and on the gun it says like Jangles the Moon Monkey and he's like on a rocket. Let me send you a picture. I just took a picture.
Please, that'd be so... I do want to see this.
It's a shitty little doodle, and I showed it in the thing, but what do you think about that?
I like it.
So he finds a terminal or a Zax computer. He'll find a terminal or a Zax computer or something with all of the museum's information on it. Everything.
Wow.
Right?
Awesome.
Like, generations of information. Like, stupid amounts of like, this is gold.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he has a holotape that he can back up most of the files onto. You get him back to Wilhelm's Wharf. Once the quest starts, Buzz can become a companion that can die.
Okay, kid can die.
The kid can die, but he's also a child companion, right?
Mm-hmm.
He grows to like you a bit and then offers to take you to Kennedy. And I have a map. This is the map of Kennedy. I tried to make it look stylized. And I tried to write Kennedy in the old NASA font. Cool. I'm going to send you the map in a minute. Everything that's like checked out, like there's like a cross mark, is water. And anything that's black is either some sort of a landmass that is not natural, that is used for some sort of transportation.
Okay.
I tried to make it all stylized, make it look like blood was running down it or somebody painted it quick, and I used a paint marker, but I fucking forgot how paint markers work.
Did it like bleed outward?
Well, kind of. It did it in like a good way and a bad way. You'll see it and you'll see where my mind was at. But there we go. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
There's like the NASA landing strip, and then there's the launch site, and then there's like separate launch sites, and then there's a SpaceX launch site because that's where SpaceX is. There's various launch sites on the eastern side. There's the Kennedy HQ where like the museum and everything is, and there's also the Blue Origin rocket factory. There's a Walmart.
Fucking Walmart.
I had to put the Walmart there. Here's something to the west, towards the south, where the number 9 is for how many notes I've already been through. There's a Cape Canaveral power plant.
Oh, is there?
There's a power plant that is a 30-minute drive from Kennedy, from the Space Center.
I'm sure that
30-minute drive.
That probably supplies power there.
Yeah. Buzz takes you to Kennedy. His mother scolds him for leaving. He gives his mother potentially thousands of years of history. Most of the files corrupt, though. She still thanks him and appreciates it. Tells him that tells you that the power plant was hit directly during the initial attack of October 23rd of 2077. The whole place is irradiated to fuck. This place is fucked. Like there's so much radiation that is just constantly moving in this area.
All right.
Most people walk around in power armor frames or minor frames. Now, I invented something called minor power armor. It's power armor, but essentially like a suit. Like, it's only a little bigger. Or, I'm sorry, a little bigger than regular clothing. Like, you know the Brotherhood suits that they wear underneath?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, but it's a little thicker and it's a little more robotic. And it was made to work on shuttles, and it gave you strength and heat resistance along with a radiation resistance.
Okay,
So
that's pretty cool.
So it's like a suit, but it's not like a power armor suit.
It's like having a really heavy set of armor.
Kind of, but it was made so people could like pick up parts for the ships and move them, and it was made easier for everybody else. But it's just something that got kind of reintroduced to this new civilization. All of the government buildings in Kennedy were they were super fortified for radiation, so no radiation leaks into the buildings.
Okay.
So everybody inside is fairly fine. Most of Kennedy is guarded by robots, much like White Springs.
All right.
So everything's kind of kept up, but it's also like they're just kind of following orders. Sally Jimison is the head scientist. She's an intelligence build. Pretty much copy the stats from Madison Lee. Just give a higher endurance and a higher charisma. I want it to be very like inspiring, and I want it to be very much about journey and exploration. But I also want it to be charismatic. I also want you to like when I watch interviews with astronauts, I'm so drawn in.
Yeah, like they have like a bravado about them.
Yeah, like it's just like imagine being in space. Like I guess that's what it comes with. You're one of the few people I could say like I was in space.
Like I went there.
Yeah, exactly. Like imagine being like, "Oh, where'd you go on vacation?" Just looking up and walking away.
You know, the moon.
Yeah. While scolding Buzz cuts her off to say something akin to, "I left to try to save Kennedy, not because it's easy, but because it's hard," which is a reference to JFK's speech from
the inauguration speech.
Is that the inauguration speech?
Yeah, it is.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's in '62. He's saying like, "I want to go to the moon."
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's the inauguration speech.
Well, I actually I sent that to your dad, the speech, because I was looking up stuff about Kennedy and the speech and everything. And since your dad is such a massive Kennedy fan, I sent him the link, and I said like, "Hey, this is a great speech." And I thought of you when I saw it. Look how I sent him this, though.
Oh, jeez. Let me see.
I sent it to him the way he would have sent it to me. Can you put that on screen?
That's mean.
How is that mean?
He knows you're probably fucking with him.
No, he would have sent it to me like that. Instead of saying like, okay, new text, new line of thought, new train of thought, it's like
don't
90 ellipses.
Don't roast my dad.
I'm not roasting your dad. I'm roasting everybody over the age of 40.
You know what? That's fair. Yeah, people over the age of 40 just don't know how to text.
Ghouls and mutants roam freely within Kennedy, and as
are the ghouls cool? Are they like?
No, they're looked at as equals. They're looked at as equals.
All right, cool.
I didn't get to write this down, but a lot of ghouls kind of go with what Jimison is saying. They don't agree, they don't disagree, but they realize that it's safety. And
can I give you a pointer?
Sure.
Can a lot of the ghouls be like engineers that worked at the place? So like there are a lot of really intelligent people.
Yeah, and some of them are ghouls. Totally. I'm not saying that's not kind of what the idea was, but at the same time, your mind deteriorates with time.
True.
So I was kind of thinking about that, like, yeah, so does your body, and those would probably be the people who get the suits first. The cosmonauts are actually a real threat. You spend a few quests gathering resources and exploring the new mechanics that are in the game. The cosmonauts, they crash land a Sputnik-like rocket, fight off a small horde, salvage what they can to learn about this other civilization, right?
Mm-hmm.
A second plot opens up.
Oh.
Only a matter of time before the power plant melts down, if it hasn't already. I didn't really know what I wanted to do there. Because it's not going to have like a second meltdown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So I'm not really sure. Jimison explains how this next piece will be her life's work: to get a rocket functional to colonize the moon or a bomb satellite.
Ooh.
Hear me out. I kind of had to write some pre-war shit.
Okay.
Attempts were made pre-war. Project had to be abandoned because of the lack of funding. The supplies exist to the moon. Supplies exist on the moon for a full colony. With funding from an Elon Musk, Howard Hughes type of guy, it still wasn't enough.
Space Daddy.
The last man... Okay, so this is actually canon. The last man mission to the moon was in 2052 to recover the flag that was left by Valiant 12 to be brought back to the Museum of Technology in DC.
Okay.
In late 2073, the idea was brought up. This is my canon that I'm writing now.
Okay.
In late 2073, the idea was brought up to revitalize the American spirit by making a second space race. The USSR does not fall apart in 1991 like it does in our timeline.
Right.
It actually joins forces with the People's Republic of China.
Okay.
The operation was no longer a secret by 2067. March of 2067, brought to the people's attention. It was a 70-30 split, 70 negative 30 positive, and thought it was a waste of time, resources, manpower, and energy. The goal was to colonize in case of anything or a nuclear strike. Wanted to best the commies there. So it was kind of like, we're going to go there in case of anything, but we're also going to do before the communists do. So it was kind of like another space race.
I really like that.
So this entire thing pretty much fell apart, and the last Moon Squad came back to Earth in October of 2077. Now, I was also thinking, if I don't fuck up our own lore too much, what if it crash landed into the Kennedy Space Station, and someone thought that it was a nuke hitting the ground, and that's what started it.
Oh, wow.
And it was just like one thing led to another. It was just paranoia. And it was like, okay, this guy who's watching the Richter scale noticed something that hit the ground so hard, it has to be a nuke. Hit them all.
Wow.
Mutually assured destruction right the fuck now. You know what I mean? So
damn, that's a really cool idea.
But I don't know if I like that one. Just, I don't know. Because it was just something that I didn't know if it was too much or too little. Or that was just to get the public to forget about it, and the Enclave was actually setting it up the entire time. Because there's no way that the Enclave wouldn't be trying to fund this.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm not saying this would have been their main base, like how the oil rig was, but it could have been a base on the moon of other people. And they've been there for 200 years, or maybe they've died out, but they were there.
Okay, so there are people living on the moon, is what you're saying.
Yes, eventually there will be. If there's not already, there will be.
Okay.
I also wrote some side quests.
Ooh, baby.
I wrote a horde mode.
All right.
So, I really like horde modes in games because they kind of just let you turn off your brain and shoot things.
Just like bam, bam, bam.
Borderlands has really good ones. You go to the power plant, you build structures and defenses, hordes and hordes of ghouls and mutants, FEV and otherwise, and other abominations begin to attack you until you fall or you hit the round limit. Akin to kind of how Nuclear Winter is, with massive PvE. It's kind of reminiscent of that and mixed with the ingots from the pit. So as you kind of go through these ranks and these levels, you'll earn rewards.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gotta get every single ingot.
Yeah. You if you can survive, say, 5 rounds with 5 waves, that's kind of the idea, but I need more fleshing out.
Okay.
Side quest 2, Florida Man.
Florida Man?
Reports of large mutant thing attacking settlements. Some say ghoulish, some say super mutant, and animal hybrid. Optional to help out more than 5 settlements to get more information. Some of the things that people say could have happened to them are the golf courses. Someone keeps pooping in the holes. Someone stole all the Jangles the Moon Monkey dolls from a store. Women's underwear is constantly going missing. Chem dealers' supplies are their supplies is going missing. But only like the respirator parts of the jet or the plungers for Psycho. So like not like important shit, but just shit that makes it like a nuisance.
Yeah, like shit you need.
Dining room tables southeast most legs are being destroyed. Flattened sugar bomb boxes line the alleyways in a major city nearby. Corvegas are intentionally being pushed into the water just because. Chewing on people's cushioned chairs. Has a super sledge named Kindness, so we can kill him with kindness. Large amounts of laxatives are stolen, thinking that the pills like buff out.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Are all of these things based on actual Florida Man news stories?
Like 4 of them were.
Because I could tell some of them have to be.
Kindness was, the pills were.
The golf course?
No.
Oh.
I was talking about that with someone at work. I was saying like if I ever wanted to get revenge on somebody, I'd wait till I know that they're taking their kid out to mini golf, and I would shit in the hole, and I would Bugs Bunny like in Space Jam underneath the thing to make sure the kid gets a hole in one. So it's the best day of his life. He goes in to grab his ball. It's covered in my shit. Worst day of his life.
Oh jeez.
You eventually will track down Florida Man. He's a goat, human baby, Sasquatch, pig, giraffe, spider, mutant thing. Puts up the craziest fight ever. I have written down dumb health, stupid power. When he's killed, you get his super sledge kindness, his skin, a fuck ton of chems, and his place is a safe house. You can then take his skin/body to be fitted for a suit of power armor. And then maybe like
you could have his skin turned into armor.
Yeah, you have it fitted like you'd get like a bear rug, like a bear skin rug.
Like you would just stretch it around a suit of T-45.
Yeah, it would fit.
Oh God.
Then that's the end of the side quest, but just like other things that I wanted to make sure.
That's so funny.
In there. Constant Florida jokes, constant.
Oh, there has to be.
But not like to the point where it's like, all right, I get it. This place sucks. Harsh, open-ended quest lines, and all actions have major consequences, and of course, dialogue options.
What about a voiced protagonist?
Get the fuck off of my show. Don't ever bring that shit up around me ever again.
Do you know some shit that I do want to bring up, though?
What would that be?
The fact that our intro music is made by Shane Ivers.
The man.
The myth.
Man.
Oh, the legend.
I wonder if Shane Ivers knows about Florida Man.
I wonder if he does too, but I know that he's also wondering where he can download his own music. And that would be at...
Probably on his hard drive?
There's that, yeah. But also at www.silvermansounds.com/free-music/featherduster.
Tight.
But Vince, tell me about some Twitter.
You can follow the show on Twitter at Atomic Radio Hour. You can follow myself on Twitter at @the_Boogans in all capitals. You, sir? You
can find me at Declan_Bean. We have a Twitch. I swear. It exists.
You know what? If you want to see a stream, just message Kyle.
Yeah, message Kyle. And you could do that on Discord. We have this incredible community on Discord, and we love just like interacting and talking, and it is just a blast. Join the Discord. The link is somewhere there or something.
I was thinking about our Discord today, and it's kind of like it's like a group chat of people that just kind of like will share memes with each other and just kind of yell at each other briefly, but like in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, hey guys, this happened today. Oh, that's cool. That sucks. Show a picture. I went to an antique store. Like it's just a fun time.
Boone's wife.
Yeah. Let's get a couple.
Let's get a couple Boone's wives from the chat.
Yeah. If you're listening to us on YouTube, thank you. I love
Thank you.
Make sure you comment, rate, and subscribe.
Hit the little bell icon.
Hit it. Yeah, it does the thing. You can find us on all major podcasting platforms. That's every single one.
And if we're not there, then it's a lie.
Yes. We also have a Patreon. Thank you to everyone who gives to the Patreon. We're going to shout you guys out in a minute. The Patreon is optional. It is never going to be mandatory. It's just to see the show get bigger and better and stronger and faster. And we appreciate anybody who even thinks about giving $1. There's a bunch of different categories that give you a bunch of different stuff. But let's give those fine folks a shout out. Do you have the list in front of you, Declan?
I am opening the list in front of me right now because I forgot to do it earlier.
First off, I know for a fact we have the one, the only, friendly companion cube.
Thank you.
We also have
The man.
Noah. And the new guy, we have James Starkey.
Now, before we finish talking about Patreon, we have a message from our Patreon donor, the Friendly Companion Cube. We have a message that
with the tier he's in, he gets a shout out of whatever he wants once a month.
And I'm getting that off my Discord, but there it is. I've been enjoying Fallout 76 a lot, so I'm gonna go with, and I quote, Fallout 76 wasn't that bad, you guys are just mean. And that's that.
I do enjoy Nuclear Winter.
Yeah, Nuclear Winter is quite good.
Yeah, I think that's everything.
That's probably everything. Yeah, we do have some content for you.
Yeah, I'll be completely honest with you. It might be Nuclear Family.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Our schedules kind of got out of whack. So the day that we're recording this is usually the day that I edit the episode on. So I had pretty much all day to do nothing. So I was like, I'm going to edit. And I spent 4 hours editing it. And then I took a break because my brain was screaming. And then as soon as my break was done and I ate something and kind of ran to the dollar store to get some stuff and came back, I had to start all of my notes for the quest. That being said, I still have to now edit this episode, which now that we have video, I'm still learning how to edit the video.
And doing a great job, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that, actually. What used to take me anywhere from an hour to like an hour 30, hour 40, could now take me up to 30 minutes. Or not 30 minutes, 3 hours to do the video, because I'm still learning it and I'm trying to like do little things and trying to get my only audio editing style into the video. And I have to learn everything again, where I've been using Audacity since
forever.
Like 8th grade. Yeah. So if I get time to finish it up, everything's tracked. The story is there. I have to add sound effects and music and all this other stuff.
I'm very excited.
But that could be another 4 hours of work.
So if not this week, maybe next week?
I'm going to promise, if not this week, next week.
Ooh, cool.
So
excited.
If this isn't Nuclear Family, what's about to happen right now, I apologize. If you want to yell at me, you can absolutely, totally yell at me. You can find me on my Twitter. And let me just I mean,
there's a link to it somewhere.
Hold on.
There's an at.
Hold on, stop. If you want to yell at me, you can find me on Twitter at the Ood Sigma. That's TheOodSigma. You can just tweet at me and tell me that I'm horrible because
I am not gonna say a word about that.
So, yeah, I thank you for being kind or not. But yeah, if it's here, it's here. If it's not, it's not. But it will be out, I guarantee you, by next episode, which is episode 55.
55. Oh, this is 54. Wow, we have so many episodes. Jeez.
Yeah. 50. Yeah. So okay, that's enough fucking padding that out. Again, Ood Sigma. If you want to yell at me, find me there.
And if you want to not yell and you want to say very good things, you can find me because I need validation. You know, it's probably still under me right now. So.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Enjoy whatever happens next. I'll see you next week.
Have a good week or weekend. That's a wrap.
Cool. My head hurts.
Atomic Radio Hour Podcast.